A cooperative is a democratically managed organization, so they're owned and governed by their members, and those members can be producers, they could be workers, they can even be consumers. We have a consumer-owned brewery that's actually opening up in Ronan. In the Ronan Co-op Brewery, we had a group of community members who wanted to see a brewery on their main street and wanted to revitalize a main street area. Come together, they all put in a small share, and together they were able to capitalize a brand new business. So it's really a powerful model.
There are a lot of people out there who try to make it to all the local breweries. So if we could get people to come off of Highway 93 into Ronan, we thought that a brewery was a good way to do that.
We started from the beginning assisting the brewery from their initial stages, holding community interest meetings and introducing people in the community to the model.
I think like 100 people came to that meeting. And at that meeting, they asked, what do people think about this? And everyone was pretty darn supportive, and out of that, the steering committee formed.
We help them with the group come together, with group facilitation, figuring out if that idea is really feasible or not.
But then when this initiative got started through Mission West, they were looking for a board of directors that were getting ready to incorporate, and I thought, and not in an arrogant way, but I thought, as much as I know about commercial brewing, I need to offer my services up. And so I got elected to the board and have been in diligent service to the project ever since.
I saw an ad for member attracting, and so for a membership drive. And so I went to a bar in Polson and I paid my $250, and I mentioned to Brianna that I happen to be a brewer, I'm a home brewer. And so she goes, "Oh, you happen to be a home brewer? Yeah. You should run for the board of directors." And so I did run for the board of directors, and I came to the first meeting, and I brought a keg of alt beer with me, the same alt beer that is on draft out there. I rebrewed that recipe in a big scale, and I brought it, and I got elected handily to the board of directors.
Bob's had my back, and I've tried my best to be a good student of his. He and I worked very closely on this. These are all his recipes, and he's a beer judge, very experienced in the world of brewing.
They told us how to be a co-op. The board of directors were not experienced cooperative board of directors, and so we needed help in learning how to be a cooperative.
Then they allowed space for us to meet as a steering committee to get underway. They gave guidance as to what laws and what steps we needed to take to bring this to the table.
We helped with group facilitation, we helped apply for grants, or assisted them with the business planning and getting a loan. And they actually got a loan from another cooperative that lends exclusively to co-ops.
They've done just a wonderful job of helping us find some grant money, leadership training, a lot of opportunities that I would encourage other small businesses to look into for resources and just for help, and just at the very least encouragement.
And they cracked the whip when it was time to crack the whip on us. And that was really important.
With us opening now, we've started to kind of plane out, so it sort of plateaus. I'm kind of excited for that point. It's sort of a tipping point at which I can focus more on the brewing and less on the setup, because the setup has been, it's been a new experience. It's been challenging.
I became a member because I really appreciate the idea of having a cooperative brewery in our town. And I think I was one of the first people to sign a check.
My husband and I bought shares for each other for Christmas.
I think the biggest thing that makes our beer unique or special is that Bob, with his experience as a tasting judge and his experience as a brewer, has created 4 recipes that are right down the middle stylistically.
There's a big trend in brewing now to have the strongest or the hoppiest or the sourest, and I think that these beers, they're fun to talk about and they're fun to Instagram, but they're not fun to drink. And we're making very traditional styles that have been drunk for hundreds of years as beers that are meant to be drunk over conversation with friends.
They hit all the marks. They check all the boxes. They're very easy drinking beers, very friendly beers.
But every single one of the beers we tasted here were great. And I really like a Kolsch. I like light beers. And I was so pleased to see a light beer on the menu. Very good.
I drink a lot of different IPAs, and I think it went down really easy. I'm ready for another one.
I think one of the best things about cooperatives is it puts such an emphasis on the local economy and sustainability. The emphasis is certainly local first. If you can find it locally, do your best to get it in there. And if you pay a few bucks more, that's okay, because the chances of getting it back are so much greater.
We're working with Montana Craft Malt, which is growing Montana barley and turning it into Montana malt. And so those are the primary malts in the stout and the alt beer and the IPA. And the malts are just fantastic. We've been very, very happy with how they work and the yield we're getting and the flavors we're getting from them. And they add a different flavor to our beers than what you would get if you went somewhere else.
And it also gives a lot of local residents a leg up in doing business with each other. They come down here after work and they talk shop a little bit, and they have a nice, safe place to do it.
Our brewery is owned by over 300 members who bought shares of common stock, and some of them bought preferred stock to be a member of this. And then what their share of common stock buys them is a vote for the board of directors. And so 7 of us are running the brewery as the elected board of directors. And so we run this on behalf of the members.
One of the biggest things that small town residents in Montana can gain from us doing this, is that there's a model now for a co-op brewery in their town.
When I walked into the meeting, I did not think that 2.5 years later I'd be standing here having brewed the beers, but it was a great outcome.
Well, I invite everyone to come to Ronan Cooperative Brewery. We are the first cooperative brewery in Montana.
We have over 350 members now, so it just feels like a really positive thing, and like the community really does support us.
It's a good gathering place to meet your friends, have a few beers, and enjoy life.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your loyalty with sticking with us. We got plenty of great days to come, plenty of great evenings to come. Let's drink beer. Don't get down. Keep your head up, keep your chin up. It's difficult, it's time consuming, but know that it truly is a labor of love, and that we're doing this for our community. As Benjamin Franklin said, beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to have fun. We're selling beer. Right on.